Alright, so Raw kicked off this week from the former home of the Detroit Pistons, Fort Wayne, Indiana. And we go to the dressing room and you see AJ in the back in her dressing room talking to herself. Gee, well, she's talking about what she's going to say to Daniel Bryan, Kane, and CM Punk later on, I guess. But, boy, this is kind of an interesting segment now, isn't it? Excuse me! I said excuse me! And with that, you know who the interim general manager is tonight for Raw and Friday night on SmackDown. That's right. It's Vicky Guerrero. You know, there's two types of heat in wrestling. The good kind of heat is when people actually pay money to see you get your ass kicked. But then there's the other kind of heat. It's the X-Pac kind of heat where people just want you to get the hell off their television screen. And that's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now with Vicky Guerrero, because I don't know if to you it seems like she's getting more annoying all the time. I mean, and that's saying something because she's been annoying for a very long time, but even now it seems like she's upped her game even that much more. And then, God, I'm just thinking, shut the fuck up, Vicky, please. But anyway, after my rant there, she does announce a triple threat elimination match. And stop me if you've heard this before. On one hand, you got CM Punk, you got Daniel Bryan, and you got Kane. We haven't seen this before. Really. We have not seen this before. You know, this is turning into it's turning into the WWE version of AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels in TNA. It's like you just can't. It seems like you can't have one without the other now, can you? I mean, it's basically just same shit, different day, you know. Triple threat elimination match. Kane gets knocked out first due to AJ's distraction. And then Punk gets knocked out by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan wins. Yes, yes, yes. It's over. Okay, then you had a backstage segment with Vicky, Alberto Del Rio, Ricardo Rodriguez, and Dolph Ziggler. ADR just basically commenting on how beautiful Vicky looks. Okay. Then Ricardo comes up with flowers, and then that's when you see Dolph Ziggler, and he promptly proceeds to throw him against the wall. But if this segment did anything, instead of a contract on a pole match for the #1 contendership, for the World Heavyweight Championship, for the right to meet Sheamus on Friday Night SmackDown, so at least that segment did something now, didn't it? Alright, then in the immortal words of B-Rad, finally, we get this match. We get the Big Show against Brodus Clay. Only thing about this match is it was pretty short. No interference by David Otunga because Show didn't need it. Brodus' win streak is over after Show ends up winning the match. Then they come back from commercial, and Show knocks out Clay again with the WMD. So, I guess it's just to show that he's a giant and he's dominant and he's got an ironclad contract and he can do whatever the hell he wants, I guess. Oh, I did like this segment, I'm not gonna lie. AJ is talking to Kane in the backstage area. I mean, coming from Kane, who's supposed to be a monster and not have feelings at all, he calls AJ mentally unstable. Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black, huh? Then AJ acts like she's gonna start crying, but then she starts laughing, so it just gives more credence to the theory now, doesn't it? Okay, then you get U.S. Championship match. Jack Swagger's in the ring, no entrance. So guess what he's doing? And this is pretty short and painless, I guess you could say. Santino wins clean up the Cobra. How far has Jack Swagger really fallen? I mean, seriously. Okay, then you get the 1 hour main event segment. John Cena's big announcement that he announced on Twitter, like right before Raw last night. You get right when he's about to say it, he gets interrupted by the return of Y2J Chris Jericho, and Jericho basically wants to come out with his announcement, whatever it is. Turns out he's putting his name into the Money in the Bank match. Wow. John Cena's going to be in the Money in the Bank. Boy, talk about telegraphing your winner right then and there. Then Jericho goes on to say that, and this is a true statement, that he invented the match back in 2005 which happened at WrestleMania 21. And he puts his name in the match also. Then you get more Vicky Guerrero. Oh. She announces 2 Money in the Bank matches. One for the WWE title and one for the World Heavyweight Championship. And she also puts Kane and the Big Show into the WWE Championship match. So, So that for the right to go to the WWE Championship. So, but anyway, Vicky just needs to fucking go away. That's just my opinion. Then you had what was my mark out moment of the night, if you will. Oh, Heath Slater, you really, really suck. I don't care what Mr. Rouse says. You suck. Anyway, he grabs a microphone and he talks about the master and the ruler of the world. Oh, we know who that is now, don't we? And it's not you, Heath Slater. It's Psycho Sid Vicious himself, baby. Woo! Well, anyway, the match itself is pretty much nothing to write home about, obviously. One thing I will say about Slater is that if Randy Orton at one time was the Legend Killer, I guess that makes Heath Slater the Legend Jobber now, doesn't he? Okay, then we come up with that #1 contender match for the World Heavyweight Championship match on SmackDown on Friday night. The Contract on a Pole match between Dolph Ziggler and ADR. This actually was a pretty decent match, especially when they got the contract down and it was on the mat and Ziggler and Del Rio were fighting over it, and Ricardo towards the end of the match tries to get in there and pick it up himself, but Ziggler kicks it out of the ring. But then you have Sheamus come out to the ramp area and says he just got done talking to Vicky Guerrero, and she ends up making it a triple threat match for the world title on Friday Night SmackDown. Okay, so what the hell was the point of this match then? If it was going to be a triple threat match all along, why have Ziggler and Del Rio go through all this shit? It kind of turned a good match into something that it's a big pile of crap. Okay, then you had the Divas Summertime Battle Royal, and once again Vicky Guerrero gets her big body into this, so she enters the Battle Royal herself. Basically comes down to her and AJ. Vicky tosses out AJ like, oh, thought she would have hit the floor, or like she thought she hit the floor. And she's celebrating like she won the thing, but AJ ends up winning it, and then she channels her inner Daniel Bryan. Yes, yes, yes. Pretty short and sweet, and not good. Okay, main event time. John Cena against Chris Jericho. So if you parents out there didn't send your kids to bed, oh, this is summertime after all, so you probably let your kids stay up and watch John Cena in the main event now, didn't you? Anyway, match is okay, I guess. Big Show ends up appearing towards the end of the match, and he gets in the ring. Well, he still has that ironclad contract, so ends up dropping the leg on Cena, which causes the DQ on Jericho. Then he ends up choke slamming him afterwards, after Jericho climbed out of the ring, and I ain't gonna have any part of this. So then he ends up putting him in the colossal clutch. God, we haven't seen that move for a while. Except, I guess since he took out Santino a few weeks ago, but so much for Big Show being done with John Cena now, huh? Okay, final thoughts on the show. Obviously, my mark out moment, no pun intended, was seeing the return of Sid Vicious, taking out Heath Slater. I mean that's awesome. Anytime anybody takes out Heath Slater, I'm perfectly okay with. And hopefully at Money in the Bank, we're finally going to see the end of this CM Punk Daniel Bryan thing. You know, hopefully AJ Shitzer gets off the pot, and hopefully she'll figure out who she wants to be with instead of being this token rampant slut. But at least some of this set up Money in the Bank, some of the matches, like the aforementioned Punk and Daniel Bryan match. Then you got two Money in the Bank matches set up. It's good that they're breaking Kane away from that storyline, so hopefully they'll have something else for Kane to do. And then otherwise this Raw wasn't really much to write home about. So anyway, give me your thoughts down below on what you thought. This is Marvelous Mark signing off for now. Goodbye. One thing I forgot to mention in this video, it doesn't pertain to what happened on Raw, but anyway, I'm thinking about doing my first Q&A video, so if you have questions for me, you can message me on YouTube, you can shoot them to my email address. I will have that down in the description box. You can message me on Facebook, or if you have something for Twitter, you can message me on Twitter or something if you have anything there. Doesn't necessarily have to be all about wrestling. It can be about other sports. It could be football, basketball, baseball related. I'm big into music. If you have any music questions you want to ask me, I'll see what I can do them. See if I can answer them. Like who my favorite group is. Something I can do like that. If you have any other personal questions you want to ask me, I mean, as long as they're legitimate and something I can answer right off the top of my head or something like that. But anyway, just if you have anything like that for me, just let me know. Thanks. Bye.